Okay, now class, so what will I do? So if you can see, the skeleton is now ready. The skeleton is being shown here, right, on the desktop. Now what I need to do, just beside this, okay, the skeleton is here right now. I just need to clone the repository which you have made for yourself. So in my case, see, it is this repository, right? In your case, it will be cs384 underscore your roll number. So just come to this code section, and in the code section, just copy this URL. You can use this button directly, or you can just select and right click and copy. Okay, that is also fine. You can even download that zip, but let us do the gateway. Okay, you just copied the URL, and now back to your terminal. So remember one thing, you should clone it in a new directory, right? See, I already have a git repo with this skeleton. Don't touch the skeleton directory, right? So I can see the skeleton directory here. You can see I'm on the desktop of my Ubuntu server, and you can see the skeleton directory here. Now what you do git clone and just paste the URL. Oh, sorry, it did not copy to clipboard. Let me do it again. Right click, copy. Okay, so git clone, and I am having this as my repository, and I again press enter. Fine enough. So now when I do an ls, I can see here two folders. See, this is my skeleton folder and this is my 308 folder. I am still on desktop. You can have my document, C drive, D drive, that does not matter. But now basically I will have two folders. You can see that on your hard disk also. Fine. Now what you need to do, as you can see, CS384 will be, let me just do an ls. Okay, CS3848. It will just have a readme file, right? It has a readme file and a .git folder which is hidden. You will not see on Windows. Fine. Now what you need to do is just go inside this folder, the skeleton folder you go, right? And just copy this. Okay. Since you will be on your desktop mode, just right click, copy and paste it in this folder, CS384 and your roll number folder. So since I'm on Ubuntu server, I will have to do this via command line. So see, I will do cp -r, right? I'm just copying the assignment 1 folder and pasting it in cs4 my repository, right? So you can see now assignment 1 is in the cs384308 repository. Okay, it's in the assignment 1. As you can see now, there are two files here, tutorial 1 and test cases. First, I will show you what is a tutorial 1. So tutorial 1 is just creating a basic calculator in Python having plus, minus, multiply and divide, right? So let me just open this. So as you see, it's open in VS Code. Remember one thing, for every tutorial, I will give you a skeleton file because your code checking will be automated, right? So you should not change the function name. You should not change the return statement. You have to only write the logic between these lines. Again, never change the function names. Okay. Now let us say I have not written the multiplication logic. So let me now write the multiplication logic. It will be num1 into num2. So what basically this is doing is I am taking two numbers, adding them and returning the addition. I am taking two numbers, subtracting them, returning the subtraction. I am taking two numbers, multiplying them and returning the multiplication. Similarly, taking two numbers, dividing them and returning the division, right? This is fine. Let me close other files just to close others. And now I have a tester module, right? Test cases. I will just explain how this test cases work. So the test cases work in this fashion. Okay, so I will just explain the basic concept. See, tutorial 1 is my program having only definitions, right? I am not calling any of the functions here. So in Python, you can call one program from another program. Fine, one program for another program. See, what is the name of this file? This is tutorial01.py. Okay, and now see, what is this file? Test cases underscore tutorial1. So just see the first line, import tutorial01 as A1. What does this mean? I will locate this file tutorial01.py. So you need not mention the extension because Python knows that I am already importing py files. So see, my name is tutorial1.py and I am importing tutorial01, same as A1. So A1 here is an alias, right? We all have pet names in India. Everybody has a home name and a real name, right? Same thing. So I want to say that, okay, I want to import this file and I'm keeping this as A1. You can have it anything. You can have it Twinkle, you can have it Joker, Opera, Apple, Mango, anything. Okay. Now just see how do you call functions. Okay. Just forget from time being actual answers and student answers. Okay. So I am saying a1.add. What does this mean? See, I am referring this file now as a1, right? So this tutorial has a function called add. To refer to this function, I will have to first use the alias. See, I'm using a1.add. That means call the add function which is located in the alias a1. But the alias a1 basically refers to the file tutorial1. So here what happens, add function is called with 4 and 5. Basically this file is invoked, 4 and 5 get passed to number 1 and number 2. Num1 plus num2 basically comes as 9 in addition and addition is returned. So what happens here, the test case 1 basically gets the value 9, right? So I have the actual answers because I know when 4 and 5 is passed, the actual answer should be 9. Similarly for the subtract case, see what I'm doing, I am first calling the alias dot and the function name, right? So a1 dot function name which is subtract 14 and 2, right? What happens when you pass 14 and 2? 14 minus 2 is 12 and you return 12 as a subtraction, right? And then I'm appending it to the student answers, right? So initially the list is blank and I know these are the actual answers. Then I'm printing both the actual answer and student answers, and then basically I just automate this code. See, you have learned how to use the for loops using single variable, but now basically I'm iterating over two lists. Since I'm iterating over two lists, basically I'm writing for x and y in zip. So zip is a keyword in Python that helps you iterate over multiple lists. So x will iterate over actual answers and y will iterate over student answers, right? And I'm checking if the current value of x is equal to the y, basically count of correct cases I am incrementing as a counter, right? So let me execute this. Oh, sorry, this is on the server file, so I will have to execute on the server. So I will go to CS384308 ls cd assignment 1. Okay, let me just cat this. I hope everybody in their first year must have used this command. So see, my multiplication logic and my division logic both are here. Okay, and now let me use the tester module. Okay, sorry, it has to be Python 3. So you can see these are actual answers, these are student answers, and the test cases which have been passed are 2 out of 2, right? Because actually our logic was correct. Now let's say if I want to basically test case for multiplication, I just copy them. I say test case 3, a1 dot multiply. Okay, so multiply is this function. I hope the function name is multiply. Okay, the function name is multiply, and let me pass 10 comma 8. Fine, and just append it to test case 3. Now what is the actual answer for 10 comma 8? We are expecting as 80. Fine. So now check our test cases. So see, I had the actual as 9, 12 and 80, and your program also returned 80. So the test cases that you have passed is 3 on 3. So your program is correct. Now let us do one more thing. Let us test case for 4. So let us divide 10 by 2 and let us make it test case 4. So 10 by 2, basically the answer should be 5. So let me execute it. Okay, there must be some mistake in the function then. Num1 by num2 is division, test case. Oh, this has to be the division function. See, this is how the automation basically takes place. I basically kept it as multiply function only. So actual answer should have been 5, but since I passed to the multiply function, my test cases passed were 3 out of 4. Fine. So now basically what we'll be doing is we are calling the division function and passing 10 and 2, saving the file and now executing it. Okay, no module called division. Okay, my function name is divide. So this is what happens when you do real-time programming. Some small issues and things happen. Why it's not doing now? Division is not defined. Okay, let me just check my logic. Oh, there was a spelling error here in the function. Now it should work. See, now it's working. So test cases passed are 4 out of 4. Right? So this is how. So in your first program, now that I have done all the cases for you, I have written the logic for multiply, divide and everything. I will give you 3 more functions to implement, and you have to just keep on adding def, and from the tester part you have to keep on giving the test cases. When I evaluate your program, I will have some hidden test cases on my end to check whether your program is working for all the cases. One hint I'm giving you, for example, in our division program here, we have not considered division by 0. If I pass num2 as 0, there is no check here, right? So these are the cases that I will check, right? Or for example, if I pass the number as a and b, so it should pop up an error. Those instructions I will give you further. Fine. Now I have to upload this to Git, right? So how do you upload to Git? So basically, even if you are in the assignment one, first you can do git status, right? So first command is git add dot. Git add means whatever files are in this repo, add. Then you do a git status. So see, it will show you new files. See, these are PyCache which are created by Python as a cache repository. So new file. See, because you copy pasted these two files, these are the new files. Initially your repo was blank, right? If you can see, the repo is still blank. I can see online the repo is still blank because we have not pushed it. Fine. So first you do a git add dot, check the status, then do you do a git commit. Git commit has to be given with a message. In all our CS384 courses, the git message has to be at least 6 words or the marks will be reduced. 6 words. Okay, so you can say my first Python cal my first basic Python calculator done. Fine. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 6 is the character. Okay, see, at this point also when you commit, it is still not pushed online. It just says, okay, 3 files are created because you created 3 files and 52 insertions. So it basically calculates the number of lines added or subtracted, right? Total 52 insertions. But if you see online, it will still not be pushed. It is still having a readme. So for that, you have to do a git push, right? So now it says, okay, git has been pushed, and this is some random number that you will get, and this is the master branch. I hope the tutorial that you saw. Now just let us refresh so you can see your assignment one is basically done. Fine. Now let's say I ask you to add some more functions here, right? Okay, that I will cover in the next video. How can you get pull and re-add your assignments? Fine. That's it for this video.